Greetings my YouTube family, thank you so much for visiting this channel, and today I'm going to explain to you how to buy Berkshire Hathaway Class B shares. So hang on and see how the process goes. And as I do that, I'm going to also give you a brief background of Berkshire Hathaway, particularly Class B, for those who are new, and then I'm going to explain the composition of the portfolio for Berkshire Hathaway, and also then show you how I buy the Class B shares through my broker, and share with you my thoughts in terms of what I think the merits and potential risks. But before we get started, I just want to disclaimer that this content is for educational purposes, so it should not be taken as investment advice. Now, for starters, I am Isaac Jonas, and I started this YouTube channel, Streetwise Economics, to share my experiences as a retail investor, particularly in the United States and Canadian stock exchanges. And I am pretty much an economist by academic training, but also as a retail investor, I started investing in the Canadian and US stock exchanges in 2020, and I have been learning quite a lot. I like personal finance and investing stuff, and also reading and writing, and I've been regularly writing on my LinkedIn profile as well, and Facebook account. Now I am going to quickly walk you through some of the important things that I consider when I want to invest in a business. Warren Buffett likes to call stocks or these publicly listed companies businesses, because they are actually businesses. Because when you buy a share, it means you are actually a part owner in that particular business. So it's very, very important to understand the fundamental of that business. Otherwise, you can lose your money. And the ticker symbol for Berkshire Hathaway is BRK, B for Class B, and for Class A, which is almost 600,000 per share. USD has a ticker name BRK, but there is an A there. So it was actually started trading publicly the Class B in 1996 at the New York Stock Exchange, but only 517,500 shares were issued. And the top leadership, of course, most people know Warren Buffett, but he works with a number of top leadership who include Michael Goldberg, Mark Hamburg, Forrester Carter, and this information is in the exhibit to Schedule 13D, because they have to file who are the leadership in this company. It's very, very important. So I go on the Security Exchange Commission website. That's where I got this information. And this particular corporation is as of yesterday, I'm recording this today on a Saturday, on Friday close of business, it was worth 475.72 billion, because it fluctuates with the share value, right? So it is a big fund, and it's traded in the New York Stock Exchange, like I said, and it is highly liquid in the sense that about on a daily basis 3.25 million shares can be traded on average. So it means you can easily get in and get out if you want to trade on these shares. And for this year, the annual shareholder meeting is scheduled for May 4 in Nebraska, United States, and this is where Warren Buffett and his team, they will be answering questions and sharing their insights on the performance to the shareholders, which it only takes you to buy one share of either Class A or Class B to be invited. Last year I was invited because I own some of the shares, so it's actually very interesting. Now, in terms of the share ownership, you'll find that most of the institutional owners include Vanguard, BlackRock, and most of these big institutions. So I like to see who are the owners. So if you have such big companies like BlackRock, buying these shares, it's actually something that is interesting, because it means they believe in the value of the share. Of course, it's important to know the best time to buy, otherwise you can lose money. But in terms of the specific composition of the Berkshire Class B shares, right now Apple constitutes 50.04% of the share, basically almost half of the shares of Class B shares of Berkshire Hathaway. They are similar even in terms of composition with Class A shares, but Apple has been fantastic. They have dividends, but it's also a wonderful business. So Warren Buffett believes in Apple, so that's why he buys, has been buying Apple. So this is information as of September 2023 filing, and also the 9% according to that filing of September 2023. 9% is in Bank of America, and you see that it also has, Geico, which is in insurance, which is good. And one thing I like about the Berkshire Hathaway shares is that they have cash right now. From the September 23 filing, they had over 150 billion in cash. So the advantage of having cash is that if there is an unexpected event, such as a major drop in the stock markets, they can actually buy. But the good thing is they will have done their due diligence. They're very excellent team who know this. By the way, like I said, I own these shares for Class B, but I'm not necessarily promoting this fund just in the interest of full disclosure. I'm just giving my views. Now, diving in terms of how one can buy these shares is very easy. You need a brokerage account. For me, I use Questrade, and what I do is I deposit some money in there, and because they are traded in US dollars, it means my money has to be in US dollars. But because I use Questrade, I have a US and Canadian dominated account. So what I do is my broker actually, they just change. Even if I have Canadian dollars and I buy shares that are traded in US dollars, they just do the conversion. And I'm currently based in Canada, so just for your background. So this might be different if you're in another part of the world. So it's very important to understand and do your research. But when I look at this, there are actually very interesting statistics here, right? If I look at the 52-week high, you can see that this was 373.34 as of close of business of January 5, 2024. And the market capitalization is almost half a trillion, like I said. And you can see that there are 1.31 billion shares, and the earnings per share is almost 26 in the average volume. So this is the data. I look at this, and there's also those the long MR, which is 30%, and those people who are shorting this stock, it's about 30%. So you can see these statistics just for information and dig into that to try and understand what that means. But precisely to buy these shares, you just have to click. In my case, I click buy or sell. In this case, if I want to buy, I click here, and then it automatically gives me the bid, the two price points, because I'm doing this on a weekend. The stock market is closed in the US. So what happens is that I would have the bid price and also the ask price. So, but the last trading price was this $365.59. So I then select the quantity of shares, like one. Let's say I want to buy, let's say 10 shares. So that means I will have, like I should have like $4,000 in my brokerage account, and it costs $4.95 for me to buy this one share. Or even if I buy 100, then it makes sense, right? So I make sure that at least I buy quite a number of shares. But I'm buying for the long term, so maybe whether I have $1,000 to buy 2 shares, 3 shares or so, I just do that. But the key, I buy when they are down. I remember they dropped at some point almost $295 per share, but now they are up. So that's the good thing about investing for the long term. Now, in terms of the merits of investing in Berkshire Hathaway Class B, it is a fairly diversified portfolio because they are also mostly US based businesses. Because it's a conglomerate, there are quite a number of businesses, and from reading the letters from Warren Buffett on their website, he mentioned that he gives those managers for those businesses that they acquire in that conglomerate complete autonomy, and they are supposed to perform, of course, to give shareholder a good return. So that's the advantage. But it's diversified, like I said. There's Apple, there's MasterCard, there are other companies, even Bank of America, like I said, and they also have cash. So it's diversified, including in other international stock exchanges. So that's good. If the US is not doing well, then in other markets they can be doing well. I remember at some point they invested in Taiwan Semiconductor, and I think from the last time that I checked, they exited that position, citing geopolitical tensions in that part of the world. And it's convenient actually, because if I buy one share for Berkshire Hathaway Class B, it means I own part of that. 50% of it is Apple. It means it's an exposure to Apple and other businesses. And like I said, it's low cost because it's contained in that there are quite a number of individual shares. So let's say if I take the top 20 shares, if I wanted to buy one share Apple and then a Bank of America, it means I was going to pay each fee for this. But in this case, in the Berkshire Hathaway Class B, I just pay this fee once, and it has the weight of all those other businesses. So in that case, on an average basis, it is cheaper. And in terms of tax efficiency, I don't like to buy and sell. I'm buying for the long term. So for me, it works for me, even though in the US I'm Canadian. So what it means, if I sell, the capital gains, depending on which brokerage or this the account that I on those accounts, if it's tax-free savings account, I will just pay the fees for selling, which is $4.95, and then it's not taxed. But if it's in the taxable account, then like the margin account, then it means then I will be taxed that amount. So it's very important to consult your tax advisor when you're investing. And like I said, it's highly liquid, over 3.25 million per day. So in terms of volume, this is great because you can easily get in and get out. But also, I read Charlie Munger's, the late Charlie Munger's letter. May he so rest in peace. He was such a wonderful soul in terms of dishing out his knowledge to the world about investing. So he mentioned that the managers who are part of the Berkshire Hathaway conglomerate, they have full autonomy and they have a clear succession plan, because now Warren Buffett is old, but he knows what he's doing and he has a team of very smart people. So I've spoken about those who are part of the leadership as well, and they have employees who actually work. So this is something that I like about this fund. And the risks, there's market risk, inflation risk, credit risk, liquidity risk, and it's very important to have clear objectives, because if you are a long-term investor like me, I know I can buy with the expectation that it might go up. So what that means is that yeah, I can lower the fees. But also in terms of the credit risk, let's say Apple declares bankrupt and it has 50, almost half, actually half of the fund. In terms of those the portfolio of the invested funds, it means it's going to affect the whole portfolio. But I believe in the confidence of Warren Buffett. But for me, I don't like to invest it too much and to be too exposed in one stock. So that's why most of my money in the portfolio actually is in the S&P 500, because it is more diversified. Apple and Microsoft, they've 7%, but in this case there is 50.04%. It's huge actually, even though he's a very smart person, because people can make mistakes. So for me, I'm conservative in the sense that I like to invest my money in a manner that I sleep peacefully. So that's it, and I just thought I would just share this, because this information, some people may not know how to buy these shares, but it's very easy to buy these shares if you have a brokerage account. And it's very important to do your own research and understand that investing comes with risk. So thank you so much for watching this, and I encourage you to check out other videos, and I will also continue to produce content like this in the future. Thank you so much, and have a great day.